email marketing and copywriting, Flodesk Studio, and AI takeaways. You know we're always going to have a great time when we talk about topics like this. I hope you guys are well, and I'm excited that you are here with me today. This is the Marketing Club. This is the We Don't Play podcast show. This is a top conversation that I felt like we need to talk about in its full entirety. And we are live now. So if you are listening and you have a question, please feel free to join us on stage or connect with us in the chat, and we'll be happy to have you, because this topic is very heated in a way that you can learn for yourself, understand for yourself what the attributes are to making the right decisions for your business, and understanding exactly what your business requires to make the extreme decisions that have to be made in order to make sure that your website is growing, is glowing, and you're also able to take better decisions when it comes to email marketing. So today's topic is literally in 4 parts. That's why I put an ampersand in between each of the words. And we're going to talk about email marketing. We're going to talk about copywriting. We're going to talk about Flodesk Studio. And we're also going to talk about AI takeaways. These are going to be independently connected, but also they're also going to be, in a way, bridged, because they're all going to be doing the same thing, but they're also all going to have different scenarios. Now, in this case, in this scenario where you are having a website and you're looking for ways to get leads, you're thinking about what the next step is for you as a business owner. And most times, a lot of people think about email marketing as a go-to. So email marketing is not an old thing. It's a recent thing, because email marketing has been there for some time now. And so that you're able to understand the level it started from and the started point that it actually took off from, just to give you some background information, email marketing started back in 1978. That's not too long ago, but it's quite a long time ago. And ever since that time, up until now, 2026, we're seeing that the influence and the benefits of email marketing have been increasing over time. A lot of things have changed, a lot of things have happened, a lot of things have grown, and it's taking a whole new form, because now we're able to see email marketing for what it is. And it's also one of the most powerful tools to reach a large audience, stay relevant, and also stay active as well. Because when people receive your emails, they don't open them the same time you send them. Some people would open it the time you send it. Some people will open your emails a month later, a year later, a week later, a day later. So the time you send the email does not proportionally have an effect on the time that they open the email. Because if you send an email now, the chances of them opening an email now are slim, but they're still going to open it, especially if you have platforms that you're able to tell which time, what time, where they're able to open it, and how they're able to open it. So creating content is not just for content's sake, right? You're creating content because you want people to receive information. And I'll give you guys some tips. If you use a PS in your email, you get a higher click-through rate, right? If you use, because click-through rate means that they have to open your email and click again back into the email, especially if you click somewhere around the PS. And just to give you a little bonus tip, if you put a PS and you also put an anchor text and highlight the text and link them to somewhere that you're referring within the PS, that's also going to increase your average open rate and your average click-through rate, or your average click rate. Those are 2 different things, click-through rate and click rate. Then another thing you want to think about here too is if you use emojis in your subject line, that's also going to help boost a lot of traffic. That's within your inbox. If you also use numbers, odd numbers, that's going to help. If you use brackets, it's going to help. If you're able to put in a preview text as opposed to just having the first line of text, that's also going to change too. So there are very important things to factor in as well. And 350, I see in the chat, you said I'm an AI creator. I love that. Love that for you. And thank you for joining. I also see you too, Frank. You both have a party hat. So you guys are welcome, welcome, welcome to Clubhouse. I hope you're enjoying your first week on the app. It's definitely a great place to be. It's definitely a great place to be, and it's definitely one of the places that you will connect to a lot of people like this. And I've been on the app since November 24th, 2020. So being here has been exciting, meeting all kinds of people all over the world. It's a beautiful place to be. So you're definitely in for a great ride. And I hope that you enjoy your stay here too, and also connect to a lot of people too. I see you, August, Michael, La, Vicky, Jackson, Farouk. Good to see you as well. Bitumen Shop, that's Mohammed, and Spit. You guys are all welcome to the room. Please feel free to share this out. And if you have a question, please reach out to me. If you have anything in the chat, please let me know. John, I saw you sneaking in too. I had to pull to refresh because I didn't even see you in the room. What's up, John? How are you? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for being here today. Before we even go further, have you tried Flodesk Studio?
I have not, and I just did scheduled an email using Flodesk to be delivered on Monday morning. So no, I've not had a chance to check that out.
Okay. I'm going to put the link in the chat for you and also anyone that's in the room that wants to check it out. It's studio.flodesk.com. That's studio.flodesk.com. It's amazing. And they're still in beta mode because I'm part of the Flodesk partners and they launched this not too long ago. But they literally use AI within, it's like ChatGPT or Cloud, just like your favorite platform, but you're able to literally create emails and they give you 3 options. You can put your brand colors. It's a great place to be. So I'm going to put that link and you can check it out and see for yourself too, and then see what that does as well. But it's definitely a great place to check out. And then if you have a Flowdesk account, it will automatically just import it into your dashboard so you don't have to worry about copying HTML tags and stuff like that. So it changes completely as well. And then Phyllis is in the room. Phyllis, I've heard about you. I think we've been connecting from different servers, but it's good to hear from you and thank you for being here. How are you? Good afternoon. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday. I'm so glad this showed up on my notifications because I'm sitting here literally building a Flodesk summer recap email and my phone notified me of you, and then miraculously the reason why I asked to speak is you're talking I'm missing this. Are you actually saying that there's a new platform where AI is going to help me generate can you explain, basically what I'm asking is, can you explain what it is you're talking about? I kind of missed it. It would really help me understand if this would help me with Flowdesk or all my clients. So my client base would be agents, teams, groups, brokerages, and most of them need monthly email newsletters to sphere of influence, or also to agent. And so I'm building that out on my own in Flowdesk, or I'm building it out through my AI assistants. So what is this platform that you're talking about? Because I kind of missed it. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Thank you for this question. It's going to help a lot. And before I even go further, I'm going to put in an article that I wrote. This was sometime earlier this year. I think it's not even up to 3 months now. And I pretty much gave some insight about what this is all about, because Flodesk Studio is, I can call it, I can use the word interdependent, because Flodesk has created a studio platform. It's an technically it's an AI powered email design application. They launched this back in June. And what it does now is that it allows you to create brand designs within minutes, because most times what I've seen other people do is they would create content and they would now use, let's say, Manus or use ChatGPT or use,
Mm-hmm.
and then create a HTML and then upload it into their Constant Contact or their MailChimp HTML wise. But what Flodesk has done, it's literally like bridged everything into one, where if you have a Flodesk account, then you just have to import it directly into your dashboard, do all your studio work from the studio itself, do your prompts, say, hey, I want to talk about this. I want these
Wow.
colors, I want this and that. And then it will now give you three options. And then once you choose the right option, you can now customize it further, do all your tags, do all your hyperlinking, choose your fonts, your layouts. And then when you're complete, you now go to the export tab. And then that export will just bring it right into your Flowdesk dashboard. And you can go ahead and send out your email, do your A/B testing, and it's done wonders. Like I've sent out 2 emails with Flodesk Studio, and people have given me so much feedback positively on it. And usually on average, we have between 20 to 40% open rate and between 20 plus click rate. That's been an average for us. But now with Flodesk Studio, it's even gone way above the roof, because now we're creating more content and it's also colorful. It's HTML based, but it's also not heavy on image because it's coded in and it has a really good aesthetic. So I'll talk about that more, but it's just an easier way for you to use less tokens, because Flodesk Studio right now is free. But it's free right now and it's in beta mode because I'm one of the Flowdesk partners. So I've never talked about it much, but I felt like today would be good to just bridge everything together so that if anyone has a question about it, we can just debunk it and then demystify the process. But I put the link in the chat so that if you want to check it out, you can
I
see.
will. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm in Flowdesk every day, really. So this is great.
You're welcome, Phyllis. This is great and great to connect with you too. We're working
Yes.
together, but from like 2 different ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I was invited to Clubhouse through a couple of other, rooms, and then I saw yours. So I'm not sure how we're connected, but we'll have to talk offline. I'm a real estate marketer, brand strategist, so I'm excited to be on any types of conversations like this.
100%. I appreciate you for joining us today.
Thank you.
Happy Saturday. How are you?
Happy Saturday. I feel absolutely incredible. So good to hear your voice, Favor. I was actually speaking with a client about an hour ago. We were laughing a little bit about, just different platforms to use for brand awareness. And I've been trying to get this client to get on social audio for about 6 months now. And she finally came over. So I'm really excited about it. And so I told her, I was like, make sure you come in here with Favor. But yeah, Favor, I'm super, listen, I've been having a really great day. And one of the things I want to ask you, why don't you have clips on, mister? What's going on?
It's funny that you asked this question because I've been trying to understand, and I told them I actually had a call with them and I was like, I don't usually get to see it. And now as you talked about it, I went into my live details and I'm like, oh, now I get why it's not showing up, because I didn't click allow. So it's crazy because I've had a call with Flodesk, I've had a call with them internally. And also I had an AI conversation with one of the members yesterday. And I've had 2 conversations offline, like one Zoom call and one AI conversation about clips. And I've also been giving some insights on how to better the app, from a founder standpoint, because being here since 2020, I've seen the whole evolution. So now that you asked about the clips, what I just did is I went into the settings and I now saw, okay, clips are off. So I'm like, there we go.
Oh yeah, I'm so proud of you, Favor, because I'm a Clubhouse app icon. Once one, always one, right? And so I've been trying to spread awareness to everyone about clips and what they do. And you actually was you were a content creator that came up in our Women in Business conversation, where one of the incredible women in business was like, Zizi, I came back to social audio because Favor used one of the clips from a room and he posted it on TikTok. And I was like, oh my gosh, let me get back on Clubhouse. So I just want to give you a shout out. That's why I was like, why doesn't Favor have clips on in this room? And I know that he's been using them. So yeah, and Flodesk has been busy. They've been reaching out. My assistant, I've had a conversation with them as well. And Clubhouse has been busy as well. So yeah, Favor, love how we can come together and just have great conversation.
I love it, Zizi. Yeah, it's a big deal. And thank you so much for that highlight. I mentioned that to someone, one of the staff members on Clubhouse. This was last week when I had the call with them. And I mentioned that I pushed it to TikTok and I said I'm going to start pushing it off to LinkedIn. But I didn't want to go too far because there were some things I didn't see that I said, you know what, if I start now, it will be hard to come back. So let me just do a quick beta test and voila, that happened. So I'm so glad the person that you heard about, one of the creators, came back, and that's a big deal because I'm happy that it's a great way to connect with people. Because a lot of times when people listen to my replays, I'll even get notifications that someone listened to my replay as far back as 2022. And I'm like, if we could just have these things on and keep them on like the lights on, eventually someone's going to find them because not everyone is going to be here at the same time. Like I was saying earlier, when you send an email to everyone, yeah, everybody got the email, but not everyone's going to open the email at the same time. So you want to have that ratio and that balance so that everything is just aligned and not misconstrued. So thank you for bringing that in as well. And Phyllis asks, what are clips? Before I say what are clips, Zizi, do you want to explain what clips are for the people in the room and also for Phyllis, please?
I definitely can. For everyone in the room, hello, my name is Zizi Williams, and I'm the mother of 4. Yes, you heard me right, 4 beautiful boys, right? 4 beautiful boys. I should say sons, though, because they're yeah, oh my gosh, 2 of them are seniors. One is in college, a senior. One is a senior in high school. And then I have the 2 littles, one in elementary and one in middle school. So it's going fast, right? I'm also a business owner. I co-CEO KWINC. That's an insurance marketing firm. I do that with my husband, and we have an incredible team that I get to show up and empower on a regular basis. And I tell you what, I love to empower people. Yes, I do. especially women. And so I have a women in business cohort. Definitely check out, more information about it. You can even Google me, Zee Williams, and find out more. And so, I was telling Favor how impactful the clips have been, and how, he actually got one of my fellow women in business community members to, be like, let me come back on the Clubhouse. Favor posted over on TikTok, let me come over here. And she hosted a space and everything. Clips are basically a snippet of what someone says, right? A snippet of a conversation, and they are available on Clubhouse. They actually released this back in 2021, I believe, and they took it away and then they brought it back better than ever. Now it comes with a little, it comes with a little bit more, right? Where it looks like it's a great way to market your space, a great way to market your community. It's a great way to market yourself, your brand, and put yourself out there as a thought leader or someone in your community as that person that you're highlighting. So clips are very easy to use. Clubhouse, I applaud them for being a user-friendly app. And if you're like, Zizi, I want more, I need to know more, click on your beautiful profile picture right here in this room, even in the replay. And when you do that, you'll see your profile card pop up, and then you can click on the little tiny gear. You see that little gear in the right-hand corner? Yeah, click on that. And then you'll be in your settings. And when you're in your settings, you can scroll to the very bottom and you'll see what's new. And when you click on that, it'll take you to your browser, and it'll show you all about clips. And it talks about how Clubhouse release clips and how to make a clip. And you'll see the scissors in the very room that you're in, and you'll be able to do it. And no one will know until you actually push save, and then they'll get the alert like, hey, Zizi just highlighted you. And it's a really incredible thing to be highlighted. And then you'll be able to listen to the clip that the person highlighted you on, and you can download it to your phone, and you can share it out to TikTok like Favor did, or share it out to Instagram stories like I like to do, or share it wherever you seem necessary or seem fit for you, right? That's it.
Thank you, Zizi.
You're so welcome, Favor. Thanks for letting me share that. And Phyllis, thanks for asking.
Thank you. Yeah, I at first I thought it was just like a replay and I was asking a stupid question. So I'm really glad that you just took me through that process of finding that. Thank you.
You're welcome, beautiful. So happy to, I think this is my first time hearing your voice, Phyllis. So it's so great to meet you.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Let's go. I love this. Thank you so much for that question, because one question helps a lot of thoughts get answered on the spot. And I feel like Clubhouse should, by default, keep the clips on, because if you didn't say anything's easy, it would have been off by default. So the same way they have web listening on by default, they should have clips on by default, but I know that's in the works. So at least now we know better, so that next time I open a room and it's not on, I'll turn it on, because at the top you can see replays and clips on. So I'm going to definitely try that today, because the reason why I even had clips was after the room was done, I had some curated clips that showed up in the house, and that's how I was able to download it to my phone and then upload it to TikTok. And that's how I was able to now get it out there. I also want to put it on LinkedIn as well, because that's going to be a great place to also interact with people, because some people on LinkedIn are like, huh, Clubhouse is still existing? Like, I talked to somebody earlier this week, and I talked about Clubhouse, and he was like, what, Clubhouse is still here? And I'm like, yeah, it's still here, bro. It's still here. So
And
people
we're thriving. We're thriving, Favor. Listen, we're thriving. And listen, Favor, there was something you said, and I wanted to share it with you really quickly, because clips, it was by default, it would be on in your room when they first rolled it out, but they took that off because they're trying to meet people where they're at. A lot of people are like, hey, I don't like that. I don't want to be clipped. I don't want people to share it. I don't want to be in a catalog somewhere and people see that I said what I said. And so Clubhouse is trying to meet people where they're at if that is their situation. So it's giving you the option as the host, as the creator of the room, to toggle on clips for your, consumers to be able to clip you, or for your audience, your followers, whoever are in the room, to be able to make that snippet. Also, another thing, if you're like, ZZ, I just don't like it, you can opt out. Yeah, you can opt out of being, your photo and your name being attached to your clip. And if you want to opt out, you remember where I showed you the gear and all the stuff, you go through that settings and you'll be able to see that option. Over to you, Favor.
Thank you, ZZ. This is what you call this Clubhouse tutorial town hall
Listen,
101.
you know how I do, Favor. I keep my ear to the ground and I share that knowledge and information.
I have another question. So what I just looked at, that was a clip, Favor, of me. Like it said you were featured, and so that's what it's going to look like when you share it. I just clicked on something that said you featured me, and when I clicked on it, is that a clip?
When is it on your profile as a, yeah, there we go. I just see it right now on your profile. Yeah, that's a clip. So
Nice.
once you now
Nice.
click on it, you can save it. Like you know how on TikTok you can download a video?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yep.
can do that here too.
This is good. This is good stuff. Okay.
Yeah, and I think they're trying. Go
Your
ahead,
stuff,
Zizi.
like it's delicious. Like I get too excited about things, and so I start nerding out. But yeah, it's delicious. I did a tutorial on it the other day, just trying to spread the awareness, and then I noticed people started putting their clips on again. So yeah, it's definitely use it. And Favor, I posted it on LinkedIn, and I had so many people who reached out to me and was like, Clubhouse is doing this, you know what I mean? So yeah.
It came back better than ever, because we didn't used to do this before. So I'm glad that they did it, and it's working. It's definitely working, and it shows that it's active. It shows that people can still interact with it, and it's definitely a great deal here. So I'm glad that we're talking about this now, just because when people start listening to conversations like this, it's like podcasting. When people have a whole YouTube show and then they put it out on YouTube, and then they see a short, and then the short is connected to the actual video. It's the same thing here on Clubhouse. And even in your hallway, guys, if you look at your hallway, the third icon at the bottom that looks like Reels, you can now click on that and it will take you to all the clips, and it's more like a For You page. So you can listen to conversations, people can like them, people that don't even follow you can find you, and if you say something that makes sense or is valuable to them, they can follow you, and that starts to make a great difference in your experience overall. So I'm glad that it's happening and we can share it out, because before Clubhouse used to be like all in-app activity, but now we can actually go outside and come back in. So it's really good to see that. Thank you, Zizi, for bringing that in, and thanks, Phyllis, for the question.
You're so welcome, Favor. And let me tell you another thing. Under your activity bell, Favor, it'll tell you, Favor followed you from this clip that Phyllis clipped of you. So So it's it's just a beautiful thing, and I see what Paul, the co-founder of Clubhouse, is doing. He wanted this to be a friendship app. That was always his vision, and of course it went in a different direction. And so it's kind of like, hey, your friend, your person, the people who are part of your community or your spaces, they shared this snippet, and now guess what? This person is now following you because of the snippet. And so it's just, building those relationships.
Yeah, definitely. And it stands the test of time, especially when you also have Clubhouse Plus and you can see the person that followed you or viewed your profile, like on LinkedIn. It just changes the experience totally, so that you're not just guessing, somebody check me out. No, you actually can see the person, contact the person, and then start a conversation. And before you know it, you're in a boardroom or you're having coffee or something is happening outside of the app. So it's lovely. And I think definitely the mission and the vision of the app has stayed strong. And I can't wait when Clubhouse turns 10. Only God knows what's going to happen to this app. But I'm excited. Some people thought that, Clubhouse is going to just fade away. Nope. We're still here, guys. We're still here, and we are definitely ripping and running. And I'm excited for where we're going, because these conversations we're having will stand against the test of time. There'll be a lot of conversations that will still come up after this, but talking about this now is really, really important. So yeah, that's what Clips is all about, guys. And if you guys want to clip it, please clip away, share away, and let's talk about this, because this conversation is for you. It's for you. And that's why I brought this topic in a 4-piece meal. I can even call it a 4-course meal, right? I know we have a 3-course meal, and the fourth one could be midnight snacking if you want to put a fourth one there, because we're talking about, thank you, Zizi. Appreciate you for the coins. Appreciate you for that. Email marketing, copywriting, Flodesk Studio, and AI takeaways. And in this regard today, I said, let's talk about this thing in its entirety. Let's talk about email marketing. Let's talk about why this is important. Why are we even in the area of email marketing? As I mentioned, as we started this conversation, I said that email marketing started as far back as 1978. That's when email marketing started. And if we really go back into time, we now say, okay, from 1978 to 2026, what has changed? A lot has changed, right? People are using social media, people are using emails, but with emails, it's technically about $42, $35 to $42 per email. So to 1, the ratio is about 42 to 1 or 35 to 1, depending on what you put out there. But greatly, when you start thinking about email marketing and where you're going with the conversations that you're creating for people, it starts to change. Because when you start putting information out there for people to read, it allows people to get to know you even better. When you start putting information out there, you start putting PS in your email, start hyperlinking, start segmenting, thinking about putting alt text in your emails, doing things that are SEO friendly, that are also AI enhanced, then your email marketing changes completely. Copywriting is important too. You want to think about your line of text, right? If you're putting out an email and you're giving people 1 to 3 lines or 1 to 3 paragraphs per section, then it makes it easier for someone to read. Because if you have a whole block of text, people won't be able to read it because they'll be overwhelmed. Their eyes are just going to be glued out, and they're going to be just bulging, and they're not going to really read. Especially if there's information that's important there, you want to put it out there for them to see. When you put italics, when you put bold, when you put underlines, these things change the enhancement because people are able to read instead of skimming. Because when you receive an email and you click on the email, you're clicking on it because you trust that person's email. There's some emails you get, you don't even open them, you end up deleting them. I know a few people do that, and I hear about that sometimes, and I'm just feeling bad because somebody's paying for a subscription, but they're not getting their emails received. Some people end up getting mails in the junk, in the spam, because you've not been compliant. You've not been able to handle your SPF records. That's your Sender Policy Framework records. You're not looking at your DKIM, which is your Domain Keys Identifier Mail records. You're not looking at the things that affect your DNS, which is your domain name system or your domain name server. So these are things that if you don't do, it will be hard for you to scale. Because when you're sending out emails to people, especially if you have contacts, like on my email list, I have people that a lot of them are like at website.com. So you will not be able to know whether it's a Microsoft Outlook or a Google Mail or a Yahoo Mail or an AOL. You won't be able to tell, but there are ways you can tell. If you want to test it, there are ways you can actually do that. But who has time to scan through 10,000 plus emails to do the same thing? Just send out the email. If it's active, it's active. The person may not be working at that company anymore. You might get a soft bounce. You might get a hard bounce. So you got to start thinking about how your email marketing workflow gets, because when you start sending out emails to people and they start receiving it, you start getting to know, oh, this person opens this email at 2 a.m. or most of the people open it between 4 a.m. and 10 a.m., then it allows you to know what time to send your emails, because you've been doing it so consistently that it's easy for you to predict the outcome. If you send an email on a Sunday morning or a Friday evening, there are things that may be different. So just think about your business and ask yourself, okay, where are you going today and how are you putting out your email? Are people receiving it? If they are, where are they receiving it? Where do they open their emails? So those are big questions that you have to think about too. And it's important to just think about it in a very, very sharp way too. I see that the chat is going crazy. So Z says, what are clips? Clips let you grab the best moments from a live room and share them. William is like bulged in half. Just a good way to put at it. Yes, definitely. I just wanted to just give you like some imagery so you can just see it for yourself too. Z says, if something great gets said in a room, a funny line, a sharp take, a moment worth remembering, you can capture just that piece, give it a title, and share it to your profile, the house page, the clips feed, or straight out to Instagram stories, TikTok, Snapchat, and more. So true, Favor. Yes, ZZ. And Hitesh says, please add me. Okay. Love this topic. Then William goes again with Bulging. Can't get over that. You said that, fell out of the chair laughing. Oh my goodness. Please. I don't have insurance for that chair, so please be careful. Be careful. Thank you for being here, William. And Chris said I laughed at AOL. However, I have to run into a lot of more people over 60 who still haven't AOL email addresses, or probably you say still have AOL email addresses. Yeah, it's important to think about these things, because when you start seeing your emails, I've seen some people that has like sbcglobal.net. I've seen all kinds of email addresses, and as long as they're receiving it, it's not your place to change their email address. That's what they want. If the email is adam123@yahoo.com, send it to Adam, right? But if they have an email that is good, that's even better. A good way for you to also think about this too, for those who are getting emails or having that kind of subscription, there's one little trick. I don't even call it a trick or a hack. It's a tactic. It's a checkmate move that you can do. And I'm giving it to you guys for free. If you want to try it out, please do. If you don't, that's fine too. But if you send an email to someone, actually, let's roll it back. If you want to get an email from someone, right? Most times people do first name, email address. That's usually the default. If you switch it to first name and then best email, then the person is psychologically going to think, okay, I need to give this person my best email address, because someone can give you a dummy email address, a secondary email address, an email address they don't use, they probably don't frequent. So you're sending emails to an empty box where in their inbox, they can't really find it. But if you put best email or best email address, like you said, ZZ, then someone will be like, okay, let's give them the best, because you want the best. And when you get the best, you have better analytics, you have better response rates, you have better click-through rates. And that has helped me tremendously with my email listing, because now that I see 50% open rate, 80% open rate, and these are thousands of emails to 10,000 of emails, you know that these people are opening the emails. So they're opening them because they know that emails are coming in, and you're not overloading them with emails. I usually send between 2 to 8 emails a month. And one good way you can also do this, guys, especially with Flodesk, you can create a poll on Flodesk. And I did that for my community, because sending polls allows you to really understand the sample data of your audience. And I said, hey guys, we would love to know how frequently I should send emails to you. So I put in numbers like 1 to 2, I think it was 2 to 4, 6, 5 to 8, I think, and then 9 to 11, something like that. I gave them 4 options, and I got to know, okay, most people want to hear me between 2 to 8 times a month. That's technically twice a week, or 1 to twice a week. So when I noticed, I said, okay, bet. Now it's time to really give people these things consistently, so that they're able to know that, okay, I'm here, let's talk about it, let's share. And eventually you can get to know. Some people may not want to hear from you for a whole year. That's fine. Some people want to maybe manage preferences and change it to silent or do not disturb, or just let me know when this person actually has something to say. But when you start sending out emails consistently and the person receives them and they feel like, okay, this person cares, then it helps them to know, okay, this is what's coming. I always do this in my emails too. When I send out an email, I'll let you know what's happening next, or what I'm going to talk about next, more like a series or a movie. When I say, hey, I'm going to be sending you an email next about this, or this is the next topic I'm going to be discussing, then you're preparing for that email, because now you know when you receive it, now you're anticipating what I'm going to say next. So these are some of the things that I do that I'm sharing with you for free, which some people will be asking you to pay for. But for me, if I give you the best thing for free, imagine what you'll be paying for. So these are the things that I like to share, because you're able to at least try it out, test it out, because email is all about testing. On Flodesk, they have this thing called A/B testing, which has changed the game completely, where you can put 2 email subject lines, and within those 2 email subject lines, it's going to take 10% of your audience when you first send it, and it's going to use a 24-hour cycle, so that the one that has the highest click rate and the highest open rate is what's going to be sent to the rest of your email list 24 hours after. So you don't have to guess anymore. So it makes life easier for you, because sometimes when you're guessing too much, you overguess, you overthink, you overanalyze, you overdo, and then you go on overdrive. And that's not good for you. It's not healthy for your audience, and it's not healthy for yourself. So these are some of the things that I do. John, what do you do with your emails when you send it out to people, and how do you receive feedback so that you can give them the best experience the next time?
To be totally honest with you, Favor, I don't do any of that stuff. I just send it out, and the one thing I do is I segment out, pull my openers out, and eventually people that don't respond, I delete them from the list, period. That's all I do.
Okay. Do you delete it after every email, or do you wipe them out periodically?
It's monthly, but if I send out like 4 emails and they don't open any of them, then I'll just get rid of them. Usually, to be totally honest, it's about 6 emails, because quite often I look at my behavior. Sometimes I'm not really on the ball when it comes to opening emails, and then I'm opening up a string of them. So I usually give them some time.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. I like that. I know on Flodesk, what they've done now is they've created something called an archive, because most times people would like unsubscribe, but you can also put them in the archive if you don't want to delete their emails. I would just delete them right away, because if they're going to come back, they're going to come back. You know how they say when you love something, you let it go. If it comes back, it comes back. So I do that so that I don't have to be like, oh my goodness, stick to all these people. Because when you start sending out emails and most of your emails or some of your emails get bounced, it also skews your data, because analytics wise, you're not getting refined information, because you're still sending out emails to people who have been bounced 4 times in a row through 4 emails you've sent out, because now that truncates how your response rate or your click rate could actually get, because you're still having to deal with the people who are already within that asset. Or you segment them out so that you just send to the people who actually receive the emails and who are also engaging. The ones who are unengaged, I like that Flodesk can also pick out the people who are unengaged. Let's say you don't open your email in the last 365 days, then you can just put them to the side or send them a separate email, or use the same email and send it to 2. Send it to engaged and send it to unengaged, so that the ones who end up engaging, that can fall right back into the segment. So it makes your email list cleaner, it makes it healthier, and it makes it easier to, flow with. So I like that you said that, John. What about you, Zizi? How do you operate with your email list? And then I'll come to you, Phyllis, too.
Oh my goodness. Hopefully you can hear me. I had to run back over. You know how I do. I love this app because we can multitask on it. And I always get teased like, ZZ, multitasking doesn't work. And so Flavor, you were asking, how do I weed out my email list, or what were you asking exactly?
Yeah. How do you do that periodically so that you can maintain a clean email workflow?
Oh my goodness. So this is something that is very important to me, because we use a lot of email campaigning to be able to reach, potential agents. And also don't forget about clients as well, as far as, who is going to be buying insurance in certain, the niche audience, right? And so when we're talking about potential agents, I always look at, all right, what are the open rates looking like? Who has been, looking at it? Who's been opening it? Or is it been sitting in someone's inbox? That's something that we talk about all the time. One of the things that I really love is the heat sensor. I think that's what it's called, where you can actually see, all right, they opened it and then this is where they stayed at the longest. So they moved their mouse over it, or they had their, they were on their phone and they were just looking at that one part for so long. And so that's what I target right there, because they were looking at one particular spot for a reason. And so if that particular spot was talking about how much income they can make, then we're going to put them in a category and send them that specific email. If they were looking at a spot where it's talking about, their contract and they're not happy about it, then we're going to target those people and send them those emails. So basically just, doing that analysis and recognizing, okay, now let's even make it more niche down. Let's make sure that we are, targeting them specifically, because I don't believe in doing things unintentionally. I always love intentionally, reaching and doing what we need to do to be, sufficient in what we're looking to achieve.
I love that, Zizi. There's something you mentioned that was really good too on the area of just cleaning them out and being intentional. Because when you send out an email to someone and you put them in a segment, let's say you send out a newsletter and you talk about, here's my latest podcast episode and here are the latest events, or if you want a speaking gig, or if you're interested in this, or want to know about our blogs, you end up having different segments. And then once they now click on those segments, you now know, okay, this person is here for this. Even though they came in for a podcast, they're also interested in my event. So it makes a lot of sense. And I think I've just seen, you've been featured in 3 clips from this room. You see, now I got these 3 clips that are here with me. So I'm excited that I'll definitely check this out. And you guys are amazing. Thank you for clipping, because clipping is more like sharing is caring in a Clubhouse version way. So thank you guys for clipping the information. And Coach, thank you for that beautiful card and coin. Thank you so much for that too. You guys are amazing. You know what, Zizi, what do you think?
You had to do the coin favor.
That's 2 counts, one for ZZ and one for Coach Z. And ZZ and ZZ, you guys are just amazing. I just appreciate you guys for being here consistently as well. So thank you for the coins, and I'm glad that this is making sense, and it's also making sense. SENSC and CENTS. Phyllis, what about you? How do you sort out your emails? What do you do? What's your process?
Well, I use Flodesk, and my audience, would be real estate agents. Then when I break down that audience of real estate agents, I segment them by whether they're in the luxury field, mainly KW. Keller Williams is a big audience for me. And so I have segments of, say, all agents, or I have segments of luxury, or I also have a course. So I have people who are clients who are working with me, so I'll segment them out. But as far as when I send out the emails and how I'm lead genning from it, or I'm tracking behavior through Flodesk. So my mentality with how much capacity that I have is you'll learn that when I tell you how I do this. So I'll send my emails out, and then that evening I check the email. And what I love about Flodesk is I can just see who clicked. Then I see the ones who opened the links. Then I see how many times they opened the links. And those are the ones that I then go and send my personal emails to. And I might even text them. So my audience, most of my audience that I have in my Flodesk, in my database, I have all of their information. So I don't have a lot of spam type contacts. I try to make sure that who I have in there, I could immediately contact if I saw the interest that they have. So I feel like your open rate it increases when your segments and your audience are valid. So I always recommend to take a look at your audience. I mean, I'm not saying that the ones you haven't talked to for a while aren't hot. I'm just saying we don't want spam lists, or if we have spam lists, we want to weed them out as soon as possible, because I don't know them. I can't send them a text. I can't email them one-on-one immediately because I don't have that relationship at all. So I'm pretty intentional about email campaigning, and I wait. I don't send a lot. So I don't know how much you want me to answer this, but I have a whole strategy with the way that I handle my email campaigning and my segments, and then how I follow up. What I love though is what Z just said about this heat thing. I see these are things I have not tapped into. I haven't seen that. I don't know if that's in Flodesk. I'd like to know if that's something I add on. I would like to know like how long they might have been in a certain area. If you could maybe explain that a little bit more, I have interest in that. Thank you.
You know, when you talked about that, we call them SEO, we call them heat maps. So heat sensors is different because I think heat sensors and I think cars, I think pressure points. But when you said that, I was thinking about heat maps because we put heat on websites to determine where on the website they're able to understand, okay, this is a hot zone, red zone, this is a blue zone, this is a cold zone. We're able to know, okay, how to build out the website and does it work for us? Is it too much scrolling? Is it less scrolling that's needed? Do they click on the button to the left? Do they click on the right? So it's more of like a CRO, which is a conversion rate optimization SEO tactic. But when you mentioned heat sensors, let us know a little bit more about that too when it comes to email marketing outside of the website front.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me. I've been having a bit of a signal issue. And so, yes, woman, heat sensors, heat mapping, whatever you want to call it. I have to get the exact terminology. But for me, I've been using a certain thing for I want to say decades now. And so it's not the Flodesk that does that for me for our email campaign. And I feel I don't want to say the name, because Favor's talking about Flodesk right now, but for our particular one that we use, yeah, it does have it where you see where that person is lingering. You see how long they lingered there, and it's not about if they clicked it. It's about them actually, it can target and see that this person opened this email and they stayed on that particular spot for 30 seconds, right? Or they scrolled down and they stayed on this particular
amazing
spot for 20 seconds. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Those particular people, headline, I know what you're looking for, are the numbers are here. Or we have this, you know what I mean? And then you explain in the email.
That's cool.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I think that's a great. I just wasn't aware of that. I'm literally just looking at how many times did they open it, and things like that. So yeah, thank you for that piece of info.
You know that you mentioned this to Z. I'm going to talk to because we have a Slack group for Flodesk as the partners, and we also have like what do you call this, a product hunt kind of suggestion box. And I'm going to tell them about this because this is going to be a game changer completely for emails, because once you get to know which sections that people stay on, you get to know, okay, people like to read the PS. They have to scroll all the way down to the bottom to read it. And sometimes you have to direct them, because sometimes in the preview subject line, in the subject line itself, and then in the preview text, I'll say, hey, scroll down to the bottom of this email to read the PS, because that PS is going to be important for the context of the email that I sent today. So it allows them to scroll all the way down, which means now that they're all the way down, it's like when you swim. I love swimming myself. So by the time you're swimming all the way down, you just have to swim back up because you have to get back up to the surface. So it definitely changes a lot with how somebody thinks and how somebody processes things, so that if they're able to now go to the bottom or the middle section or the top section, it changes everything. So I'll definitely let them know about that. But the platform you mentioned, we'll talk offline, and discuss that too. So this is good. I love that we're talking about this, and it's not just about one platform. It's about how do you use email marketing for yourself? Where do you send out emails? Why do you send out emails? What is the total volume? Because when you think about volume, that changes everything with your business, right? Some people don't know what a total email volume is. So I'll explain this. Flodesk also puts it right this way. Total email volume means the total number of emails, you can underline the word emails, that you've sent out to individual subscribers during the lifetime of your account. So if you have emails you send out consistently, that means does this person open it 20 times, 3 times, 4 times the number of emails that you send out consistently. Like on my dashboard, I have my total email volume is 2 million, 2.08 million. That's my total email volume. And I've sent close to about 395 emails within 24 months. And my delivery rate is 98.6%. My open rate average is 22%. My click rate average is 9.9%. And my unsubscribe rate is 0.1%. So it's very healthy because I know that when I'm sending out emails to people, they open it, they click it, they subscribe, they read through, they understand it. Sometimes I give them so much that I won't have to send them twice in a week because what I sent that once in the week allows them to expatiate the whole week through and understand the concept so that it's not overwhelming, because sometimes they may not have even opened the email. Now you send them a whole new email, they'll be like, this is too much, let me unsubscribe. So you want to be able to pace it to know exactly how much you want to send them and how little you want to send them to. AJ has a question. I think it would be good for us to talk about this too. AJ asks, what's your best day of the week to send emails? And how do you feel about emailing out on a Saturday or weekend? Now, honestly speaking, the answer to that question is based on how actively you send out emails. That's the important part, because when you have emails that you send out, you have to do the testing. Because I can tell you Sunday morning, Zizi can tell you Tuesday evening, John can tell you Monday night, Phyllis can say Friday afternoon. So the answers we give you should not be your answers, because those are our answers based on what we've experienced. And with Flodesk, there's a section that says when subscribers open your emails, and you can sort it out by 7 days, 30 days, 90 days, or all time. So I'm able to know within a 24-hour block, it spreads it out within 4 different sections. So I have 6 hours within each block. I have 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. I have 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I have 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. and I have 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. So I know, okay, in the last 7 days, if I've been sending an email, when do people open the last email? Like for me, 74% of my subscription list opens my email between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. So right now I have 2 more hours in my day before they open that email, before it hits that jump. And then it drops to 10.9%. And then it even drops further to 8.7%. So that tells me, okay, today's Saturday. That means people spend their time in the morning. Let's say they go to work, they're opening their emails, they're checking it out, or maybe they're just having a lunch break, and during the week they want to check their emails and sort it out and come back. So that tells me that that's when they're mostly active in their inbox. For you, it might be the evening when they're back from work, or they're at home after maybe putting the kids to sleep. So everyone has their own different number, but I'm able to tell when do most people open their emails within my ecosystem, which gives me my highest open rates and my highest click rates. Does anyone as well have anything to add? John, Zizi, Phyllis, what are your thoughts on the time and the day and how and when to send?
That's funny. I do. I have all my clients asking me this. And, I give them the second Tuesday at 10 a.m. or Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And I only give them that. I tell them, I'm only giving you this because you keep asking me. But it's back to what you said, like how often, who's your audience? When do you think you would open an email that's coming in to your inbox? I don't know if there's a real answer here, except the studies that MailChimp, which I know I understand you're talking about Flodesk, and I use Flodesk. I don't even use MailChimp anymore. But the only thing I found last week, in fact, was MailChimp coming up with their own study of their open rate, and they're saying that the highest open rate was Tuesdays at 10 a.m. And I'm looking at that, trying to tell my clients, this is where I got this, and this is the source of this information. But I want you to keep in mind, I don't know who sent these emails, what the audience was, what the vertical was, that kind of thing. So I'm real weird about giving you an exact day and time. I always want to start with, let's get the email design done. Let's get your audience in, and then let's knock something out here. You're hopped up on what time and what day, but you haven't even finished the design yet. You haven't even sent one out yet. So I try not to get too into the day and time. Obviously, I have my own opinion. I wake up and I check my emails. So, but I'm up at, 5 a.m. So, or maybe on a Saturday or Sunday morning, which they say is like the worst time supposedly to send them out. So I'm a mixed answer. There's what I have to say about it.
I love that. What's up, John? Thank you, Phyllis.
I'll jump in very quickly, and I'm like Phyllis. I don't believe there's any great time. And with Flodesk, it gives an option to resend to non-openers, which I do. But it depends for me on when my most consumers are. If most of my consumers are business, and it's a business email, then I better send it during the work week, during business hours. That makes perfect sense to me. Then I would send a resend to non-openers and like Tuesday evening or Wednesday evening, and it's a non-time, non-work week time. So I think it really boils down to when your consumers are, and if you do a deep dive on the data, you can look and see when it is, when the most people open, and determine that way. But if a lot of your list is, for example, I'll use this one, Norfolk Police Department.gov, whatever it is, then if we know that most of the people are going to be daytime Monday through Friday. So that's what I go by. Thank you.
Thank you, John. What about you, ZZ?
Oh, I don't share that unless it's a paying client favor.
John has his own thing. Phyllis has her own thing. It's true. So then Phyllis says I have to hop off. Great convo. Message me to connect. Definitely we will do that, Phyllis. Thank you so much for sharing that with us and being here today. And definitely it's exciting that you're able to be here on a Saturday. So it was great talking to you and looking forward to more connections like this.
I have a quick question. Are you guys on every Saturday at a specific
Definitely
time?
not.
Okay, all right. I'll just watch my notifications. Thanks, guys.
Just hit on my face or anyone's face here on the in the room or on stage, and then to the right you're going to see 3 dots, and then you see notification settings. Turn that to always so that anytime anyone is talking you can join the room.
Yeah,
You're welcome. I have to be honest so that you don't think you're going to see me on a Saturday at this time, because I may not work. I may be traveling, I may be flying out, I may be out of the house. So I just like to make sure that if I'm here, I'm here. But I always schedule them ahead of time, especially in the marketing club. I put it out so that I put in the house chat and people get to know when I'm showing up beforehand.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to start a room in the fall for the agents, so I'm excited to learn more about all this stuff. And just talking to fellow marketers, I am so alone in my trade.
Real estate is always something. It's always like the lonely island, but it's one of the best places to be. So I would definitely be happy to join your conversations and, be part of those rooms
Well, I
too.
just mean talking with you guys. I'm loaded with these real estate agents in my audience. I mean, fellow marketers. Like, I don't have a group or a community of people who are in my trade. Do you guys have that? Do you feel alone in your trade as being self-employed entrepreneurs?
For me, no. I'm always seeing communities, connecting with them. Maybe it's because I'm in the marketing and advertising space, and SEO is also a wide range. So I always get to interact with people across the app, off the app, and I always get to listen and, just be silent in the rooms too. So it doesn't feel lonely. And I just think when you create the space, people come, you build it, and then you also manage and navigate your way around. But it's a great place to be. But I definitely get what you mean, Phyllis, because not everyone in every industry has the same type of effect or engagement.
Okay, well, thank you guys. I'll see you again soon. You're on my notifications. Have a great day.
Bye, beautiful.
Thank you. So AJ, I hope that answered your question about the time and the day. So I'm just giving I'm only giving you my data points. That doesn't mean it's yours. Just like Zizi says, she's not going to tell you until you be in a call with her. That's hers. That's her policy. That's her procedure. That's her framework. So everyone has their own way of doing things. For me, I'll tell you what it is. Either way, it may help you or it may not even help you at all. But at the end of the day, it's going to change. Like today's price is not yesterday's price. So you can see them in different ways, but at the end of the day, the goal for you is to test it out. Because if you never test it out, you will never know. You will never know. Like for me, with my time of day, people literally open my emails on a Sunday. I have about a 30% click rate on a Saturday like today. So if I miss a whole Saturday and I'm thinking about Tuesday, when I have half of the percentage, then I'm missing out on the people who would be actually free. So the whole idea is to look at your information, look at your volume, know exactly when people are opening your emails, and then it tells you, okay, this day versus this day, this open rate versus this open rate, click rate versus click rate. So that way it's able to you to just understand the idea, the logic, and the psychology of how it works, because everyone's business is different completely. But I hope that helped and gave you some insight too. But like you said, success is a lonely place and it's lonely to be at the top, but it shouldn't be lonely because you should bring people up with you too, who have the same caliber and who have the same style and format as you as well. Z said, do your own research. Yes, love and favor. Yes, Zizi, we got to do our own research, and everything isn't for everybody. That's right. That's right, AJ. These things I'm talking about today is so important, like, because when you hear this type of information, most people just grab and go. It's like a drive-through. You just scan, you pay, you're off. Before you know it, 10 minutes in, your food is over. 30 minutes after, you're hungry again. So you just have to start thinking about, where are we going with this information? What are we doing with it? And why do we even need to have it in the first place? So that's why I wanted to bring this conversation for you today. And to your advantage, so that you can hear this too. There are different elements of email copy, right? I'm going to talk about 5 of them real quick. We've talked about them across the room, but I'm going to just state them now so that you can actually do this. And I'm going to clip this in the process. So here we want to mention, right? And another great thing that I want to give you insight on is these elements. The first element is your subject line. I'm not going to tell you how long, how short it is. Do your research, because I don't talk about the details too intricately here, because I don't want you to just grab and go. You have to book a call with me. Let's get on a call. Let's talk about it so that we can improve your open rates, your click rates, and other things that are also SEO friendly and also compliant, to your business, and the effect of your business just skyrocketing off the roof. So the first thing is your subject line. Your subject line is super important, because that subject line is going to tell you who's opening it, because you may have the wrong subject line for the right audience and send it at the wrong time, which can end up being a colossal damage. So think about your subject lines. Think about how they're based, how they're said, what you say, what have you said before that worked, and what can you say again that will still work. That's something to check out. Then your preview text. Not every platform does that, but I know most of them do now. Your preview text is one of the most important places. Let me say it this way in SEO terms. Your subject line is like your meta title. That's what people click on. Your preview text is like your meta description. That's what people read through. So if you're able to match those two, it's going to be easy for someone to now say, okay, let me read this. Let me put this here. Let me put their name here or here, and then see what happens. Because sometimes when you put someone's name consistently, it now becomes redundant, because now you're calling them every time you're talking to them. Yeah, it's going to work. But sometimes they'll be like, man, is this thing automated? You don't want it to have that robotic effect. You have to make it surprise, do it spontaneously, do it in a way that people can feel like, okay, this person cares about me. Talk about them, put their name in the middle of the email, not at the top all the time, or put it at the last point, or PS name, and then tell them what it is, right? Try it out. I'm just giving you guys different examples, but don't just do things because somebody else did it that way, because it may not work for you, or it may work for you, but eventually it may not work at all. So you have to test it out and see for yourself. Another thing is your body copy. Your body copy is important. Your sections, within the body. Like, think about the colors, think about the styles, think about the fonts, think about what you're saying. How are you putting it out there? Are you going to start off with a joke? Are you going to start off with a GIF? Are you going to start off with a header? Are you going to start off with a poll? What are the things that are going to make your website, your copy, your blog, your email, your podcast, what is going to make it tick? Because those are the very specific things that make or break your website. They make or break your email marketing too. So copywriting is very important. And then your call to action is important because it's a single focus button and it's an instruction that tells the reader what to do next. There are things that you can do with your buttons as well. Some people like them rectangular. Some people like them curved. Some people like them transparent, right? You choose what you want, because sometimes what you want may not be what they want. So it's important to ask these questions. Do a poll. Do that on LinkedIn. Do that in your email. It changes everything. There's something that I did that changed the whole game for me. And I started off this year and I said, okay, if I did this last time, I don't know what would have changed, but I'm glad I did it now because it's better late than never. What I noticed, I went to LinkedIn. I had about over 50 votes on that, and I spent a few days on that to just ask the people this question. It was very unrelated, but super related to email marketing. And the question was, which platform do you like to use the most for online virtual meetings? I gave them 4 options. I said Zoom, Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, and Roam, ROAM. And a lot of people chose the answers that they chose. And that told me, okay, you don't want to stick to Zoom only because some people like Google Meet, some people like Teams. So when you start creating your illusions for yourself, you might end up realizing that you're losing a lot of money on the table or losing a lot of attention on the table. And it's good to ask these questions. So if somebody books a call with you, they book with you on Google Meet, that's where they want to meet you. They book it on Zoom, that's where they want to meet you. So when you start opening up those conversations and giving people the ideal styles that they need to have based on how they already operate, then you're not forcing their hand to do something that they don't want to do. You want them to just be able to have a seamless process, connect with you, and have a better way of responding back too. So those are the 4: subject lines, preview text, body copy, call to action. The 5th one, which is a bonus, is this: your images. Your images. If you have images that are huge, because a lot of people just upload images. If you have huge images and you're uploading them to your email, let's say you're uploading a 10 megabyte image or a 6 megabyte image, then you're guaranteed of something that's not going to go right because they may not open it. They probably have bad network. Maybe the Wi-Fi is down or their mobile network is not as strong at the moment when they first open your email and they can't see what's there. That's going to be a missed opportunity because you have a huge, let me even say it this way. Your image could be bigger than your actual HTML text. Your HTML text ratio to your image may be high. So the idea for your images to be really low in kilobytes is important because if you don't do that, then more times or more often than not, you could be possibly shooting yourself in the foot innocently because you're putting out information. You're like, yeah, guys, click on this image, yet it's big. Your image is 6 megabytes and your email is now turning to 7 or let's say 70 kilobytes, or it could be 5 megabytes because it's huge. So everything matters. Even the size of your font in your email matters. Size matters across everything. Your image size, your text size, all these sizes play a big role because if you don't think about the big roles, the little roles will just roll away and then you end up having bigger problems in the future. So these are things to consider and ask yourself, okay, what are we doing today? How are we going to copyright this information? What's important today? How are we able to give people so much information that they feel like they've gotten enough, that they don't feel like this is too much or it's an overload for them? So think about those things, and that changes exactly the difference between somebody just sending out an email because they feel like they have to, or sending out an email to someone that actually needs that information because you talked about it before and now they feel like, okay, now it's time to talk about this now, because if we don't talk about this now and we talk about it at a later date, then that's low-key like a statute of limitations. It's already past the limit. It's already past the time. So your idea of sending out emails is Super important, because in real time, someone can get that information and they can really go and run with it, because now they feel like, okay, I'm learning something new and I'm taking this to the next step too. So think about your copywriting and think about your email marketing. Merge the two and then get the best response out of the two, depending on what you want to see people, think through. So don't just write emails for email's sake, but write emails that people can feel connected to and also love. Because if somebody opens your email a lot, especially when you look at your analytics and you see this person open it 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, then that tells you the kind of people that want to be there. Not everyone's going to do the same thing. But when you start noticing these signals, it tells you what people like, what they don't like, and then you can now filter it down and then segment them through. That way you have better results, better information, better analytics, and definitely better branding if you put it in a branding perspective. So these are things to I can say counteract. Your colors are important too. The colors of your buttons, if you have a background, if you have a foreground, if you have your text, those things have to match, right? When you send an email, don't just send an email because it's complete. Test your emails. For me, I test my emails at least between 5 to 12 times before I send out one email. Because guess what? If you send out that one email, you have a typo, you have a broken link, you have a grammatical error, you have a miscode or something that happens and it's like, ugh, I wish I didn't do that. You'll start cringing. And the last thing you want to do is tell people, oops, here's the right link, because they're going to unsubscribe because they'll be like, this person didn't do their due diligence. So why am I here to begin with? So you have to respect yourself. If people want to take you seriously, take yourself seriously first. You don't have to send that email right away. Nobody's forcing you. No one's putting a gun to your head. Nobody's telling you if you don't do this now, then you never will. Do it at your time, but do it in a way that makes you feel comfortable. Because when you do that and you're now wusa, you'll be fine than stressing about sending out 3 emails because you missed 2 lines or because you missed a typo, you missed a punctuation mark. Those things are cringy. I don't know what you guys think about John or Zizi. Do you find those things cringy, especially when you're receiving emails from people and you notice those mistakes? What do you do in those moments?
I can just speak for me. When it's obvious grammatical errors, it tells me that they're not taken seriously, and I don't take them seriously.
I like that. What about you, Zizi?
Favor, you'll have to excuse me. I heard you say ZZ. What about you? So to ask the question one more time.
Okay, the question is, what do you do or how do you feel when someone sends you an email or you receive an email and they have punctuation mark errors, grammatical errors, typos, links that don't work, buttons that don't make sense? What do you do? Do you unsubscribe? Do you give them grace? What do you do?
I bust their balls in the meeting. Let me stop. But no. My brother-in-law, oh my gosh, like bless his heart. He is incredible at designing. He is incredible at, the things that he's incredible at, but punctuation and spelling is not his forte. And I'm like, bro, like you have a supercomputer. Like, why are you not using it to check your punctuation and your spelling? And so I get really frustrated about that. And I like you said, Favor, it's unprofessional, and it gives you, it gives people the ick where they're like, what? Like, is this real? Is this a scam? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's not a good thing.
Yeah, 100%. It doesn't show professionalism. It just doesn't show it at all. And we're human, right? We make mistakes. We're not perfect. I'm not perfect. But there's some things that are unforgivable because you can't just be sending out emails that have put somebody in a position where it's just like, ugh, dang, I can't believe this is happening. Why is this person sending this email to me and this is happening like this? It has to change, because if you don't do this, somebody else will, and somebody else will get your sale or get their attention because of a mistake that you made, right? Let's say you click on a button and it's not working. That's a problem. That's a big problem, because now they feel like you didn't take your time to test it yourself. That's why a lot of platforms, they say send test email. When you test that email and it's not working for you, it's never going to work for the next person. So let it work for you first. That's how, even when you're on a plane, they say put on your mask before you put it on somebody else, right? You can't just do it for somebody else and forget about yourself in the process, or do it for somebody else and completely ignore what you're supposed to do first. So those are important things to factor in so that you don't make those mistakes. I can call them rookie mistakes. And if you've been in business for a long time, you shouldn't be able to do that now, because that will mean that I can forgive you if it's your first week, but if you've been doing this for a year, 2 years, a decade plus, nah, you can't fly with that. It will not fly. Coach says the amount of resource you should not be sending a bad email. Right. You can't be sending bad emails in 2026 because one, you're going to get flagged. You're going to get unsubscribes. You're going to get spam. Some people may call it spam because you missed a letter. And they have every right to do that because you didn't do your part. So now they're doing theirs for you. And now you have a bad score and now you have a report. It's kind of like having something on your credit report and now you can't take it off. You can, but you're going to spend more time taking it off than avoiding to even have it in the first place. So just do your work, do your due diligence, and life will be better. And you'll be happy that you did. So these are the things that I want to talk about when it comes to copywriting and email marketing. For Flodesk Studio, for those who are listening, you can go to studio.flodesk.com. That's studio.flodesk.com. And you can test it out, check it out, see what it does for you. And they have templates, really, really cool templates. And some people say, what's the difference between Flodesk and Flodesk Studio? They even say it on their website. They say that Flodesk is a full email marketing platform where you build your list, send emails, and grow your business. Flodesk Studio is a separate app focused on one thing: designing beautiful on-brand emails with AI. That's why I talked about AI takeaways today. You can design in Studio and send through Flodesk in one click, or export your design to another platform through hypertext markup language. That's HTML. So think of Flodesk as where you send and Studio as where you design. Because before Flodesk Studio, they already had preset templates. They'll give you the templates or you have it start from scratch. But now it changes the game because now you can actually add more color, more pizzazz. You can add more spice, add more gravy to your space because people like to see emails that look good. I'm sure you've probably gotten an email that looked like a 1995 email and you don't want to be there because it's just cringy. Rather than thinking about being on an email that's 2027 friendly or 2027-esque. That way you're like, oh, this is nice. I like the colors. I like the fonts. I like the experience. And it makes you want to stay. It's like going into a restaurant that just has music playing, low lights. You just have a really great time. I learned something too. This is unrelated, but this is kind of sort of related to your email marketing. When you go to a restaurant and you see the menu in the restaurant, this is something I learned. Someone told me this. This was some time back on my We Don't Play podcast show. And she's all the way in Australia and she has over decades of experience in branding. Over 20 to 30 plus years in branding. And she said this and it made a lot of sense to me. And I said, I got to tell you guys this because this is related to your fonts. When you go to a restaurant, the next time you go to a restaurant, look at the font. That font is going to determine the palette for how your food is going to taste. It sounds crazy, but it's true. There's some platforms or places you can go to and you literally watch films or you do kinds of things. You say, oh, okay, looking at the captions, it kind of determines how you're going to feel in that movie. If you start seeing yellow highlight text, it's going to tell you something. If it's white text, if it's with shadows, if it's with, borders, it's going to tell you something about the movie. Same thing with your restaurants, right? The font matters. I remember going to a restaurant one time and I flipped the menu. On one side of the menu, there were no prices. The other side, there were prices. So I was like, wait a minute, this is weird. Do you guys know this? And they were like, no, we didn't notice it. And I was like, wow, imagine how many copies you guys have done. And now someone can determine the price of one. The drinks, you can't tell the price, but the food, you can tell the price. And it's weird. And it's like, was that intentional? Was that not intentional? Who knows? So when you go to restaurants, you look at the fonts. Some of them have prices, some of them don't have prices. Some of them have images, some of them don't have images. It sets the mood for where you're going because some of them may be luxury, some could be a mom and pop, So it depends on what you're creating that experience for that will determine how people receive it. That's the same thing with your emails. When you send invoices, when you send emails, when you put out blogs, the font really determines the aesthetic and gives you it gives you like a kind of style that lets you know, okay, this feels good, this is nice. So when you think about Flodesk Studio, it gives you the same thing too. You can think about your content, you can think about where people connect with you, you can choose your fonts. The thing I love about Flodesk Studio is that you can upload your fonts too. You can do that on Flodesk as well. But when you're setting up your brand colors, your color palette, you can literally download your fonts and upload your fonts into Flodesk Studio so that you have the right copy, you have the right style, the right font style, the right template, the right fit, so that you're not guessing or using somebody else's template. So it's really good that you think about this, especially when it comes to AI takeaways. Studio, which is Flodesk Studio, they use AI, but not the way most tools do. So what they do is they design everything with real work from world-class designers, because this is not just your drag and drop. There are people who have actually been working tirelessly to make sure that the designs and the layouts you get within Flodesk Studio are really good. And then you can apply AI to your brand and then speed things up so that you can stay in control through every edit. Now, when you do that, the results are looking designed and they're not looking generated. So you can set up your template. You can say, okay, I like this style, I like this font, I like this color, I like this aesthetic. Then you can now take action and say, okay, I want it to look like this, I want it to feel like this too. So that's up to you. You can choose what you want, but that also tells you a lot about your business and where you want it to go too. So these are the things that I wanted to talk about today and just break it down for you in a nutshell on how to use your email better, how to respond better. You can do plain text for your emails. You can do with images. You can put polls. You can put countdown timers. You can put anything that makes sense to you, right? You can put your fonts in some type of ways. You can use your block text. You can use your buttons and change them out. But at the end of the day, the goal is to make sure that your emails reach the recipient in a healthy way, in a sound way, and in a way that they actually like it. So don't skip Flodesk Studio. Try it out for yourself. And if better, try it out and actually be part of the community and see it for yourself. You don't have to join it. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. But if you want somewhere better and you want to enjoy the experience of sending out emails that actually people love to open, then Flodesk is one of them. I'm sure there are others out there that are as good. But in today's conversation, Flodesk Studio will actually help you generate those types of styles that will help your business grow and also get you better results as we send out better emails for people who want to receive them too. Before we go, ladies first, Zizi, what would be one big takeaway from today's room, letting people know what they can do, what the next steps they can take are when it comes to email marketing and copywriting? Over to you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Favor, for this space and for your knowledge and information and the way you share it and present yourself. Always great being able to be here. And also, you support me. And so, of course, I'm going to come and support you. So great job. The takeaway is to book a call with Favor. He's absolutely incredible. Why would you not? Right? Why would you not? And some of the things that you share, doing your own research, really showing up authentically as yourself, not trying to just copy and paste. We've talked about this before. Awareness is what you get when you eat up this content, right? But implementation is what you get when you hire the professional. I'm complete.
Ooh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Zizi. What about you, John? Big takeaway.
The biggest takeaway I have is start with where you're at and have an honest conversation where you're at. I've been in email marketing for years before I started my podcast, and that was one of the last things I implemented, and it's a great tool. But do not fall into the mistake, the trap of designing the curtains of your new house before the foundation's even laid. Lay the foundation first. If you stick with the basics, then as you get further into the game, you can do more stuff. But I think Faber would agree. Get started, and if you're not started, it's a great place to start. If you are intermediate, then go ahead and take it to the next level. If you're advanced, take it to the following level. But look at your honesty, what kind of time you have, and where you are in a journey. So that's it for me. Thanks, Faber.
Thank you, John. Appreciate you for that takeaway today. I'll tell you guys too, for me, one big takeaway I will tell you, I said it before and I'll say it again so that it's easy for you not to make the same mistakes over and over. Please test, test, test. Test and optimize. Test your emails. Test how you send emails. Test how you respond back to emails. Test what they look like. Test why they look the way they look. Because when somebody is going to test that email and give you good feedback and tell you, oh, I love your emails, or I love what you talk about, or I love that you changed how you speak. Like I got some feedback the other day and I was told that, Favor, I like how you changed your email conversation in a way where it doesn't sound too techy. Now, an ordinary 3-year-old, 5-year-old can read it and understand exactly what's being discussed, even though it may be technical based or techy, but it's enough for someone that has no idea of what that looks like to actually enjoy the conversation, because you don't want to be screaming at the top of your lungs for something that should be just whispered. So it should be easier for you to have a better result by understanding your audience, testing it, and testing it. Whether it's your subject line, your preview text, how they look, how they feel, that's something that you should not skip over, because the more you're able to test, the less errors you're going to have. So with that said, thank you, John, for being here. Zizi, appreciate you for being here today. Paula, thank you for being here too. Luann, Coach Z, AJ, good to see you as well. The caregiver, Gaytan, Elizabeth, Simon, Beck, Shore. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll definitely be back again for rooms like this. If you want to hear me talk, please feel free to just click on my profile and turn the notification settings to always, so that you can always get to know when I'm here in the room. If I'm on this app, within the house, outside this house, definitely you'll be able to hear me speak. And then more importantly, guys, make sure you click the link above to book a call with me, get on an exclusive email list so that you can get emails like this, and we can talk about this at length at your time of convenience when you schedule a call with me. So until then, stay blessed, stay out of trouble, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next room. God bless you, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.